Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Ever built a Flask app and struggled with creating clean URLs or redirecting users after form submissions? You are not alone. URL building and redirects are fundamental to creating a smooth user experience. In this hands-on tutorial, we will demystify these concepts and build a mini project to solidify your understanding. In this tutorial, we'll cover URL building using URL underscore for function, redirecting users with redirect function, handling dynamic URLs with variables, building URLs with query parameters, best practices for URL design, and finally, we build a mini project, a simple registration form with redirects. So fire up your favorite IDEs. I recommend VS Code for this. It's free and awesome. Create a new project folder and let's dive in. Let's start by creating a basic Flask app. Create a file named app.py and enter the following code. This imports the necessary classes from the Flask framework. While here, we create a Flask application instance. The double underscore name helps Flask find the templates and static files. Here, this decorator registers the index function to handle requests to the root URL. This index function returns the content to be displayed when the user visits the root URL, while this ensures the app.run is only executed when the script is run directly, not imported as a module. App.run debug equals true starts the Flask development server. Debug equals true enables automatic reloading on code changes, super helpful for development. Now run this code. In your terminal, navigate to your project folder and type python app.py. Enter the URL in your browser. You should see this. Now let's create another route. Now, if we want to link from the index page to the about page, we could just hardcode the URL. But what if we want to change the /about route later? We would have to go through our entire code base and update all the links. That's maintenance nightmare. That's where URL underscore for function comes in. Instead of hard coding, let's use URL underscore for function. This dynamically generates the URL for the about function. Flask looks up the route associated with the function name. Now, even if we change the route for the about page, for example, let's change it to our story. URL underscore for function will automatically update the link. Let's learn about redirects. Imagine a user submits a form. We want to redirect them to a thank you page. We can do this using the redirect function. Here, this imports the redirect function. Our app.route decorator handles both post and get requests. Here, we check if the request is a post request. Then redirects the user to a thank you route. Let's create a route that displays a user profile. This is a variable part of the URL. Here, the user argument receives the value from the URL. Now, visiting our user URL will display. Sometimes you need to pass additional data in the URL using query parameters. This retrieves the value of the ID query parameter. Take note of the following best practices for URL design. First, use descriptive and consistent URL structures. Use hyphens to separate words in URLs. Avoid underscores in URLs. Keep URLs short and easy to remember. Let's put everything together in a mini project. We will create a simple registration form that redirects user to a welcome page after submission. The following code is the back end of our registration system. It creates a web server, handles form submission, and process user input. Here we import Flask, the core framework that powers our web app. We render underscore templates to load HTML templates from the templates folder. While request handles the form data submitted via post. A redirect and URL underscore for is to send users to a new page after successful form submission. Next, we create an instance of our Flask app. The underscore name ensures Flask knows where to look for files and configurations. This function loads and returns the registration page, register.html. Note, when a user visits /register using get, it will display the form. In this function, when the form is submitted, Flask retrieves user input using quest.form.get method. This extracts the values from the form fields. Then we check if any field is empty. If a field is missing, the page reloads with an error message displayed on register.html. While here, if everything is filled out, the user is redirected to the success page. The URL_for function generates a URL dynamically. Next, we create register function. This binds both get and post to the same /register route. If the request is post, it processes the form. Otherwise, it displays the registration page. After successful registration, the user sees a welcome page. The URL includes the username. Finally, this runs the Flask server in debug mode so we can see errors easily. Next, inside the templates folder, create the register.html file. This file is the user interface where users enter their details. Here, the metadata ensures special characters work correctly and makes the form responsive for mobile users. The body tag is centered on the screen with a light gray background. The .container makes the form look like a card with rounded corners and shadow. While here, this is Flask template condition. If an error exists, it will be displayed in red. Inside the form tag, method equals post sends the form data to Flask. While each input field has name, this makes it accessible via Flask request.form.get method. Placeholder gives a hint to users. Required ensures users must fill it before submitting. Then finally, our submit button is green, centered, and changes color on hover. Run your app.py file and see this in the browser. That's it for this tutorial on Flask URL building and redirects. I hope you found it helpful. Click on the subscribe button and like the video so you'll be notified when we upload new videos. In future tutorials, we'll expand on this mini project by adding database integration and more advanced form handling. So don't miss out. Thank you for watching.